The financial crisis seems to be worsening. Are we in the eye of the hurricane right now, or is worse to come?
The problem is that the effect on the real economy are, for a large part, still to come. And 2009 will certainly be a rather bad year in terms of growth all over the world in advanced economies, but also in emerging economies. Nevertheless, there are some signals, some signs of hope. Large stimulus packages have been implemented, and especially in the United States. You have seen the recent development here in Washington and Capitol Hill. The same is true, even if it's not at the same level, in most European countries where some room was available for stimulus packages. I think that most government has realized that they have to work also on the financial sector, to restructure the financial sector, to clean up the balance sheet.
With dramatic job losses around the world, how big is the risk of protectionist politics?
It's big. It's really big. Not traditional protectionism, increasing tariffs or things like that. Most governments have understood from lesson from the past that didn't work, and even it makes things worse. But you have protectionism which may come back through the back door, and especially in the financial sector. Let me give you an example. When the governments provide some new resources by recapitalization, for instance, to banks, they may add some comments saying that this money should stay at home, or as you may have in different stimulus packages, some comment or some amendment saying that this money also should be used to buy national product and this kind of things. So those type of protectionism may come back, and at the same time we can see as a kind of protectionism the way some financial institutions are working when they repatriate most of the capital flow they used before to help emerging countries. So the risk of a beggar your neighbor policy is still high, and I think it's part of our job to explain that in no way in a global crisis there may be a domestic solution, a national solution, and that we have to find global responses.
The IMF is saying that governments have already done a lot, but that they haven't yet achieved a decisive breakthrough. What more do governments need to do to prevent a further downward spiral in the global economy?
Big change, and especially the big change during fall, was that most governments, including the United States, Japan, European countries, but also others, did realize that what the IMF was claiming for months, naming that we needed a stimulus package at the global level, and at the same time that there were no solution but a comprehensive action on the financial sector, that they did realize that it was true and that they had to act. And probably the G20 on November 15 here in Washington were at the point where the head of state and government were the more explicit about it. Now it takes a lot of time in different countries, depending on the national democratic process, depending on other reasons, to implement this. It's true for the stimulus packages, it's true also even more for the restructuring of the financial and especially the banking sector. So the question is no more to convince the government to move today, but the question is really for them to implement the policy they need to manage. And I'm just coming back from tour in Europe and in Asia. I'm flying to the G7 in Rome, and the message from the fund is twofold from this point of view. First, what you prepared is okay, in most cases, just do it. And the second message is the crisis now hit hard the emerging countries, and the financing gap for emerging countries may be very important. Of course, this comes back to us if it goes badly in those countries because of the global economy, and really because we're in a global crisis. So you have to take care not only of what's happening in your own economy or in the regional economy, but you leaders, you need to take care of the global economy. And I think these two messages today are really important.
Mr. Dominique Strauss-Kahn, thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview.
Thank you.